far, everything is awesome. And you know what else is awesome? It is a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, except for this one thing in the season finale. I think you all probably know what I'm going to say. Technically, though, it's probably two things, but hey, who's counting? Who's counting? Now, I really loved it. My mom and I loved it. It was so much fun because I was able to experience it with her and my father. We watched episodes 1 through 5 because I kind of made her, I said, listen, here's the deal. We're going to watch the first episode, and if you like it, we're going to keep going. And Dad was there for the ride because he was there in his big chair and had nothing better to do. And so we've watched the finale together. And of course, we loved it, loved it, loved it. What do you think? I'm just going to ask this in the chat. Thank you, all of those of you that are coming in. It is great to see you. And all of you that will be watching me on the replay. That is also awesome because everything is awesome here on Miss Martin Muses. But yes, what do you think? I think is the problem. I think, and to give it away, I think most of you know that my mother is, for all intent and purposes, blind. So her comment is, well, it was definitely something that is very telling. Alrighty, but before we get into that, I do have, oops, did I share it? I don't believe I did. We're going to be going through a whole bunch of things. Now, it's not, by the way, it is not the whole deal with jealous, oh no, not jealous, rather. Well, yeah, jealous Lionel. We're going to talk about jealous Lionel, who is being a bit of a douche canoe. It is not even the finale thing. Okay, we're not going to share this quite yet, but it just got shared. I sure as hell hope. I always make sure that I am not sharing DMs accidentally. Hello, I see you coming in. Great to see you. And I do have memberships now. It's very humbling. I believe I have 11 at this point. So it's just very nice to see everybody supporting the channel. And it does help me do more content in the situation that I'm in. But I didn't mind the postscript thing with Makar. It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would at first, especially when you consider two things, two theories. One, Makar is not Precious. He is not wearing his ring in that final scene. So when he's going, where the hell is he? Perhaps he's acting. Or it was an oversight of them, and we're going to be getting a flashback because we all know that if Dunk had really run away again, rather, Egg had really run away again, there is just no way. Oh, fuck. Sorry, pardon my laptop is going over. There's no way he wouldn't hunt him down till the ends of the earth. So I believe we're going to be getting a lot of flashbacks. Now, this could be a problem. This could be a problem because they might go down the Game of Thrones area where they are just like, oh, people like Tyrion, so we're just going to do Tyrion. People laughed at a few jokes that Tyrion said once, so we're going to turn him into a court jester. On the other hand, I'm not too worried about it because I almost feel like they're being snarky about their faithfulness. I think that we're going to be getting some really cool flashbacks because they really were popular and rightly so. I mean, Lionel Baratheon was one of the standout changes that they did in this TV show. I think they did it perfectly. And some of the things that he said in this finale, I don't think we're supposed to take seriously. Remember, he is a snarky SOB. He doesn't like the Targaryens, and we know they're setting up the big showdown between him and Dunk. I guess that's a spoiler, except it's not a spoiler because this stuff has been out for years. We know that some crap is going to seriously go down when Egg is king, and they are going to have a one-on-one combat. So I am willing to pay money to wait for that. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but we're talking, that might even be 10 years down the road if it's successful. And if we still have a planet by then, because the whole world is going to hell. And him asking, you just got my message and you replied. Okay, let me go ahead and check that out. Thank you, Steve, for being here. Let me see. I'm assuming you replied in the affirmative. Okay. Yes. Figured you might be up. Hello, everyone coming in. What do you think the one thing that annoyed me was? I can be forgiving of what happened with that scene. When you read the book, because I just got done rereading the book and I double checked, it's exactly how it plays out. We never see Makar saying, oh, yes, we can, precious, let Egg go. That's not in the book. Now, later books, yes, there are some moments. Wow, we've got 9 people in. So great to see you. There are some moments where Egg says, "Well, my father, when he sent me off with you, he told me I had to obey you. He gave me the ring, all of that." So I could definitely, most certainly see a flashback there. Yeah, yeah. And for those of you, I wish I could do things on more of a regular schedule. I just can't. I'm snatching this time for when I'm free. With my mama, we gotta do stuff in about 2 hours. Okay, here's the link, Steeg, so you can come in because Steeg knows a hell of a lot more about all of this than I do. Why isn't this fucking hell? Oh, pardon my French. I try to be a good Catholic. Oh gosh, I made the priest laugh in confession. That's the first time I've made a priest laugh. When I was confessing to him about how I've been using the F-bomb, he chuckled. Because I told him about how people are like, "Wait, aren't you a Catholic?" Oh, boy. I've made a priest laugh in confession. I made a really old priest go, "What? You did that? Well, they're not supposed to do that." And he was like, "Oh." What would he say? "You shouldn't have done that." But yeah, that's a very big digression. So in any case, hello, welcome to be here. So in any case, straight reading of the book, it's accurate, that postscript part. It was also kinda hilarious because the way they almost did a curtain call with Arian all beat up, looking like a piece of garbage with, then you see poor Valar and then, my man Darren sitting there drinking, then he's, like, counting off. It's like a scene from Home Alone almost. I can forgive them that. That is not the one thing that they really got wrong in this, that they messed up in this episode. I can forgive them. We know that they like to use flashbacks. And as long as Ira keeps his head together, doesn't pull a Ryan Condal. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Sting is here.
Hi.
Is that Steeg or Steeg or Stig? Because everyone mispronounced your name. I'm trying to see what's your pronunciation.
It says Steg.
Oh, okay, so it's Steg. Okay. At first, I thought it said Saint Egg. Then I realized, yes. Oh, well, look at you being a little Aegon. Well, right now, I'm talking about what I do not believe is the worst part of the show, which is the epilogue with Makar saying, "Where the hell is Egg?" So I didn't know if you wanted to share your thoughts on that.
Well, I hope they don't use it to add stuff that's not in the books later. Like
Hmm.
they'll start hunting Dunk or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But because I can see that happening, them making their own thing. But isolated, it was just, fun.
Hmm.
It didn't do anything or, wrong, but um, changes do have ripple effects, don't they?
Yes.
So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you heard my 2 scenarios at the beginning of the stream where I said one of them is they're just gonna start off with a flashback because they love to do flashbacks where they do catch him And then he does the whole thing where he gives him the ring. It's like, fine, if you're gonna go, Makar gives Egg the ring that they talk about in the third book, I think it is, or maybe it's the second one. I don't recall, where Egg is talking about how Makar told him, you need to obey him. Here's the ring if you need it, if an emergency happens, so people know that you are a Targaryen. So they could do that as a flashback, and I think that that would be perfectly acceptable. And it'd
Yeah,
be, yeah, and it'd be a way for all the new fangirls to have more memes. I liked Makar before it was popular. I liked him from the book and what we know he is going to become. The other scenario is in that scene, he does not have his ring on. I've looked and I've looked. It is true. So maybe he did do all of that and he's faking, he's acting. Because Makar would not have waited to that long to notice he doesn't have his ring. They always have their ring with them.
maybe Egg stole it and he noticed he didn't have the ring earlier before that scene.
It's possible, but when you lose that ring, I mean, that's a big deal. That's just not something that you lose, because those kind of rings meant something. That's my opinion. We're going to see in season 2, I think it has been teased by Ira that they're going to do something about it. And well, look who is in the chat. Thank you for being here. We have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, welcome. It started with Egg's lie.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Oh no, say it. Come again.
No, ignore it.
Okay. It started with Egg's lie and ended with Egg's lie. Lots you can parallel start to end.
Yeah, he's egging people on.
Oh no. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up
How
about that.
shellfish of him. Okay,
Oh dear. Well, he did know all about the crabbers.
I'll stop yoking now.
Well, his older brother is going to have some crabs or something like that. That's how he ends up going to the great beyond. I love it as the story continues to unfold. One by one, Egg is getting closer to the Iron Throne. Now, for those of you that are like, you're spoiling it, I didn't spoil crap. It was in the 3rd episode. Even my mom was like, what?
Not
He's going to
just
be
that,
king?
it's mentioned in the original Game of Thrones show.
Yes, with Aaron. Correct.
Yeah, Shireen teaches Davos about the stories of Dunk and Egg.
Yep. Well, and in the TV series, you have Aaron talking about it on his deathbed. He's like, yeah, and
that would be Aemon.
Oh, Aemon, son of a bitch! I can't keep these guys straight. They all have the same names. So yes, this is not what annoyed me. I forgive them completely for this. I think it was perfectly fine. Another thing that I forgive them for is Lionel, because I think, Steve, they're setting up with Lionel the whole confrontation that's going to end up happening down the line. They're showing that he's not too happy with them all. And originally, Egg is going to promise his Lionel's daughter that she's going to be the queen. He was going to wed her to Duncan, who is Aegon the Fifth's oldest son and heir. So they were kind of helping each other out. And I think, do we know how that marriage promise came about? Was it something, a reward for something, or was it a diplomatic thing, or we don't know the details yet?
I don't think we know the details.
Yeah, but either way, that's going to happen, and some shit's going to go down that's really going to piss Lionel off. So I think they're setting up some animosity, but also by setting up the friendship as such as it is between Lionel and Dunk. I think they're going to make it have a lot more impact when shit goes south. Hello, we have someone from Nottingham, UK. Hello, Andrew Broadbent 1206. I actually follow, as a normie, Nottingham Forest, the football club. I don't know if that is, but of course I love Robin Hood. Yes, I follow, as a normie, the Premier League too. And I always say that because I am not going to be one of those that pretends I know more than I do. But thank you for being here. We love our watchers from across the pond. I bet you it's cold and rainy when in doubt. So I can forgive that. Now, a lot of people, I think, are giving a little too much import to what Lionel said to Dunk when he risked nothing. He had the King's Guards and they didn't have to fight him. What he did wasn't honorable and all that. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, he even said the gods judged him for basically fighting like a wuss. And I'm like, I saw that as this is Lionel. He doesn't like the Targaryens. The shippers are saying he's jealous because he's got a thing for Dunk. But a lot of people are taking that as gospel. And I'm like, no, I don't think that that's the way it's supposed to be taken. It's like this is one character's opinion of what happened because you know how Baylor would have risked nothing? He would have risked nothing by not joining in the thing because that's how he would have been quote unquote safe. He would have just said, oops, well, sucks to be the Hedge Knight. He's going to lose a foot. The end of the story. The end. So people taking it as gospel that we are supposed to think that Lionel is the point of view of the story on this and the final word, I just thought that was some grade A bullshit. That's how I took it. I don't know.
Steve, no, that was just his opinion. Mm-hmm. Almost venting.
Yeah. That's how I took it. Because especially when you know some of the animosity, I mean, it just didn't make sense. In the book, when he takes Duncan's side, it says he smiles sadly. He's really sad about this. He started basically a mini civil war by joining in. But he definitely risked something because, yes, there were the 3 King's Guards that were sworn not to hurt him. But there was also his own brother, who's a beast. There was also that douchebag, the 2 douchebags that were fighting on the other side. I mean, there was a chance, unless he thinks that people wouldn't hit the heir to the throne. But that's also obviously not the case. So, I don't know. So that's not what annoyed me.
Okay. He also had the Targaryen was trying to sabotage the fight before it happened.
Oh, by taking the apple guy, by taking the Foss away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Giving him a lordship. Now, 2 thumbs up, though, for showing the character of Lionel when he says there was Beesbury, there was this, and then that apple got a person, and it's like he didn't even remember his name. He just remembered, oh yeah, Apple, because he was that little boy. I thought that they did a good job with him. So speaking of that, and I thought it was completely in character for him to be, what a tourney. Wow, what a day. Well, this turned out kind of crazy. And his offer of Dunk to come to him. Well, first of all, the shippers had a lot of fun. Well, I had a lot of fun with it too, the memers, because he goes, I'll love you like a brother. And everyone's like, in the Targaryen way? And he says, and if you don't come, I'll hate you like a brother. I thought that was a bit of foreshadowing.
If you don't come?
Oh. Don't do that to me, Steve. Not. Yes. Yeah. But all in all, good. So that's not the one thing that I thought kind of effed everything up. There was a really cute part with Raymond Fossaway. What an idiot. What an idiot. You could even see it in the prostitute's eyes when he's like, yeah, right after the battle, she came and she took me into this tent and she tended my wounds and all that. And now we're in love and we got married and we're having a baby. And I think that Raymond really believes it. It's like, I think he was a virgin, to be honest, before that happened, because he's a young guy. And even Dunk is like, dude, how dumb are you? But I thought it was cute. I thought it was kind of cute and funny. And a way to wrap it up. And of course, Sweetfoot. Everyone is just loving Sweetfoot. My mother has still been asking about Sweetfoot. She's like, but what about the horse? And I'm like, I don't know. And then when he shows up and gets to go to an apple orchard with him and his new wife, I thought that that was a cute little denouement. I In a way, a lot of people are pointing out that Raymond Fossilway is the MVP. First of all, he lived. Second of all, he was the one that immediately says, "Knight me," and he didn't even really have any armor. He helped Dunk in the fight. He once whacked Arian off of him, and then he also, well, he carried him off the thing. I don't know. I thought he was good. And did you like the way that they portrayed Raymond in this and his ending?
Yeah.
Did you think it was too silly? Yeah. Okay. So you're fine with it.
Yeah, it was fine. And this is supposed to be more lighthearted anyway,
True.
than the other shows. But I'm still worried that it'll get the second season syndrome, like The Witcher and House of the Dragon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at least they got this novella done right, and it looks like the next season is out next year.
Yes.
I'm assuming early because they're only shooting 6 episodes again, and they'll run out of material in when they start shooting season 3.
Yeah. However, we do know that George R. R. Martin has shared 12 stories with him. And I don't think, if it's up to the showrunner, Ira, whatever his last name is, that they're going to go the route of Dan and Dave, because what they did with the ending of Game of Thrones destroyed them. They did some series on Netflix and it bombed. They lost the Star Wars movie. They lost all the deals that they had. People ridiculed them. So I think Pride, if no other reason, will keep it on the right track. The only thing that is being the spoiler in the worst sense of the word in all of this is HBO. That HBO
Well,
will come in.
you could have made the same argument for the people who make House of the Dragon, right? And they went the Dan and Dave road, didn't they? But I'm optimistic though about season 2 and 3, and when it comes to the Dunk and Egg stories, if Morton already has 12 stories, are those 12 stories already written? And he can't release them because of Winds of Winter is gonna spoil
Yes.
or be spoiled by them. Because the Dunk and Egg stories they're barely 100 pages. They're probably more like 80, right?
Yeah.
Because they usually have illustrations and stuff.
True.
So, and it's usually just from Dunk's point of view, and the characters are few. So he can pump out Dunk and Egg stuff rather fast compared to the main series, right? Which is a whole tapestry of thousands of characters. So writing Dunk and Egg stuff, it should be easy and it should be fast.
Yes.
And if he already has 12 stories, all he has to do, even if he hasn't written them, is just, we'll fill them out.
Mm-hmm.
And heck, all he has to do is like do 2 or 3 of them,
Yeah,
really swiftly, and then that'll be 3 more years of
yeah.
TV.
Well, and even without the stories or an outline from him, we know the beats of the story. We know how it's all gonna eventually unfold. They're gonna be going along with, as I said, one by one, the heirs to the Iron Throne, the people ahead of Egg in the succession are going to pass away, they're gonna abdicate and all of that, and then we know in general terms what's gonna be happening with Egg as Aegon the 5th. We know that he's gonna marry for love, for example, because 'cause they're like, "Fine, you marry whoever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. You're like 5,000th in the line." So, we even without any more books, have a general outline for what's going on, and even with the cast that they have, people are like, "Oh, we're never gonna see Maekar again." Oh, hell yes, we are. That's gonna be a part of the whole story when he's the king. I mean, spoiler alert, but again, these are not necessarily spoilers. It's was spoiled in the actual TV show, both of the TV shows. So there's loads of material there. And I believe that you are correct about the fact that the reason why he is not releasing them is because it's a huge spoiler. We've been talking about this for years. And if we're wrong or you're wrong, because I'm basically ripping it off from you, that Egg is Varys. That's going to be a huge reveal that they cannot reveal until the Winds of Winter comes out. And if it is going to be revealed, it will be. And I don't like to say that I am a fool because how many times have I been a fool? But the fact that he's doing this play about the whole Harrenhal tourney. There's been a theory for a very long time. The reason why it's been delayed is because the Winds of Winter has not come out because it was supposed to come out like in 2022.
I
So
think I think another thing is the sequel to the Fire and Blood stuff
mhm.
will cover the Duncan Egg period, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking that one is also on hold. I think it's probably done, because
Mhm.
it's not just George Martin writing that; it's the two other people. He's kind of dictating, isn't he? Uh,
Correct.
so I'm thinking that one's probably um, uh, basically it's in limbo.
Little Hammer says, "What y'all smoking? Aegon isn't Varys." It's a theory. It's a solid theory. If
It's
you read
it's actually very
read,
solid,
mhm,
very solid, and they're both described almost the same way when they're introduced in the books, almost
yes.
identical.
Bald as an egg, the castration thing, the the fact that he is the sacrifice at the Summer Hall incident. And if we're
And
wrong, it's wrong, we're wrong. But yeah, if you when you read the books, just look for it.
yeah,
And again,
also Varys seems to be a fire white, kind of like Lady
mhm,
Stoneheart,
yeah, doesn't eat,
and
doesn't sleep.
he doesn't sleep because Tyrion sees his bedchamber. He has a stone slab, almost like a crypt.
Yeah,
Just it's
and he
just a
has
rock in there that he rests on. There's nothing.
yeah, his magical powers that we've seen are definitely some
Which,
sort of glamory.
yeah, mostly it seems like he has. He's using similar tricks that Melisandre does.
Hmm. Indeed. But you know what? Despite all of this, this isn't the one thing that I thought they really fecked up in the episode. But this is a theme about George finishing the books. What do you think about the flashback when two parts? I'll start with the second part. When he dies, what's his name? The Sir Arlen,
Yeah,
but doesn't die. And then he just opens his eyes and says, "A knight finishes his stories." Do you think that was a hint? That it
Uh,
it was done because George R. R. Martin didn't allow anything to get into that without his permission, at least this time around. He said he was very pleased with this episode.
no, Egg doesn't necessarily die at Summerhall. That's what people believe, but there's plenty of stuff left open in the books, especially in the World of Ice and Fire. You see the stuff the Maesters have written about it, and pieces of it are missing.
Mhm.
It's been, blotted out. So the Summerhall stuff is uh, very much open.
Yep. And again, it's a theory, but again, read the books. It's
Yeah,
a very
re-
solid theory. I think, or read the books with that in mind. Yeah,
yeah, and pay attention to what Varys is up to. It's
yeah,
very, very sneaky. It's a blink and you'll miss it all over the place.
yeah. Now, a knight always finishes his story. That's it. Yes. Or do you think it was an Easter egg and a wink at the fans? I've heard two theories about this. One, it's George R. R. Martin telling us, I'm going to finish it, or it is finished. Like you think it's finished, but it's not finished, but it is. And a knight always finishes his story.
Well, which story?
Uh, Indeed, but it is his story. Or number two, the prophecy that we've been saying, not prophecy, that's the wrong word, where he dies and Dunk's all crying his eyes out, etc. And then he opens his eyes, says Knight finishes his story, that is a hint that it will be published after his death. Maybe. Or maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a little joke that they threw in there. But that's not the one thing that went wrong, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm unsure. It's kind of it could be anything, couldn't it?
Yeah,
And since when was George Martin a knight?
true.
More like a maester, isn't he?
Indeed. But maybe talking about honor, that a knight always keeps his promises, a knight doesn't forget people. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But the other part of it was when Dunk goes, "Why did you never knight me?"
Yep, because he didn't. This is obvious from the short story
Mm-hmm.
that he was never knighted. So it's kind of like he's not officially knighted, but he is everything a knight should be anyway. Uh,
Yes.
and the other people that are knighted are far from being true knights at all. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah. That what makes a knight is what you do, not what a ceremony says you are.
Yeah, being a knight comes from the inside out, not outside in.
Yes. You shall know them by their deeds. So I still say he is a knight. He is Sir Duncan the Tall. My my point of view is he became him, if you will. He became the knight when he went through the trial of 7. Like if there was a moment, his knighting was that, like a baptism by blood is the expression. That
Yeah,
is when he became the knight. Similar to, not obviously the same as in the Star Wars when they have to go through the trials to become a Jedi Knight, I think.
which
So,
they've completely. They didn't even know about that. The Disney writers.
well, yeah, of course they suck. Another
But
analogy that, oh, sorry.
Luke actually goes through it. Even it's not officially, but the events that has to happen for you to qualify as a Jedi Knight, basically the lessons.
Mm,
Um, he goes through them, and the final one is when he puts down his lightsaber and resists Palpatine,
yeah,
because I
when
think
he,
that's the trial of the spirit or
mhm,
something that
yes,
he because he failed at that at the cave, but then he uh, succeeds when he's confronting Palpatine.
correct. another thing in real life to me is in the church, obviously you are baptized. It's a ceremony, it's all of that. But we also have something called baptism by blood, literally. And this is something that came about during the time when the Christians in the early church were being thrown to the lions, literally. And there was a question, is were they quote unquote baptized? And there's the idea of baptism by blood. So if you, even if you did not get officially baptized, with the water in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, if you die professing Jesus and become a martyr, etc., that is the same thing. It's called baptism by blood. So same idea, that he became a knight. So I say he became a knight at the trial of 7. People might say he became a knight just by being a knight. But did the ceremony happen? No. And I don't even think it's important, because the show shows Sir Arlen was very, very flawed. In the book, it wasn't really so earthy where they would talk about Sir Arlen. But yes. So that was definitely a moment for the people watching the show. Some people, show watchers only, were like, really? Did you have to hit us over the head with it? And I'm like, well, in the visual medium, yeah, it needs to go there. And it's connecting the theme of who Dunk has become. So no, that was obviously not the thing that was my problem with the episode. I mean, I know I keep teasing it, but it's pretty obvious. Should I just go ahead and say what my problem is with the episode?
It's the music.
Yeah. There we go.
It was retarded.
My mother thought I had changed the channel, because like, okay, let's watch it. It's in, for her, 10 Eastern. We're in 10 Eastern right now. Boom, we pressed play. My mother can't see, so I narrate it. And then she's like, the wrong channel. Yeah, change the channel. Get it back to the show, because it was this jazz music. I said, Mom, there's jazz music. She's like, on the show? She's like, what the? And she was still bitching. She was bitching about it yesterday. I haven't talked to her today, and she'll probably be bitching about it when we're going around running errands. She did not like it one little bit. Jazz? I mean, what the actual F? What the hell was that? What the hell? Took you, I mean, talk about something that takes you completely out of the story. Perfect except for jazz. And I love jazz. In its context.
2345 in the chat has an interesting point. Maybe Sir Arlen Pennytree wasn't really a knight either, and that's why Dunk wasn't knighted by him.
Ooh, okay, let me read the whole comment. For a few short minutes, I thought, is Sir Arlen Pennytree not able to knight either?
Yeah, that is excellent point, because very few people seem to remember him, and I don't know, might be something to that.
Yeah, could be indeed. Interesting. Though that's a definitely interpretation from the show, but it would be along with the theme of a knight is how you behave, not necessarily how you have been through a ceremony. When I say behave, obviously he was debauched, definitely shown in the show with the notorious, oh my gosh, that scene in the second episode. But in the stupid flashback, best part of that, if there was a good part of that, is when Dunk is about ready to be killed and he stumbles out in the name of the mother and defends the innocent. So he definitely behaved as a knight.
Sir Arlen of Pennytree is in the third Alien movie. Him and Charles Dance, actually. And he is excellent in that movie. So they got a terrific actor. One of those really underrated ones.
Mm-hmm.
So worth a watch if you want to check out Alien 3, but watch the director's cut.
Yeah, so that's definitely worth thinking of. Yeah, so as we said it, the jazz music, I didn't mind the 16 tons at the end as much because it was in the credits. So, okay, if it's in the credits, I can
Yeah,
handle that. That's the end of the
the,
show.
they had modern music in the credits for the original show a couple of times too, especially the one where Jamie loses his hand.
Mm. Was
It's
that
just
when they did the Bear, modern version of that in
no,
the Maiden Fair?
it was some kind of Irish band.
Mm, okay. Well, I don't wanna rewatch it because I think I've told you I've got to, like, bleach in the eyes, I've got to wipe out the television show,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
it's ridiculous. Everything. Well, it's the shit started in season four, and then after season four, George is no longer involved. So clearly, they started fucking up in season four. He wasn't happy, and then they got
Mhm,
rid of him. And I remember back in the day when it was, George Martin's no longer involved or something. The showrunner said, "Yeah, we're so well underway now. We don't really need him anyway." Like, yeah,
mhm.
okay. How did that go?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Even if it's self-serving, this Ira guy is the smartest person on the planet. He finally figured it out. Suck up to the authors for crying out loud. If I think it's pretty genuine because he comes across as a big nerd, but definitely, yes, everything he said. Hello, Iron Faith Phil. It's great to see you here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so I forgive them more for 16 tons than I do for the other one. Now, are you familiar with 16 tons, Steak?
Nope.
Okay. It's very American, though. That's where some people are arguing. I mean, 16 Tons is just a song that y'all know. It comes from the kind of Appalachia kind of thing. I don't know if that's the exact origin, so don't hate me, everybody. But it's about coal miner, and it's about that it's written, I think I forget where it comes from, but it's just something that you just know. It's like a folk song, a popular song that you sing, sing as a kid, sing with your family, and we used to all sing it as kids. So it's it's very, very much an American staple song, and it's about basically being a man that's just in coal mines, 16 tons, and what do I get? Another day older and deeper and dead. I sold my soul to the company store. So it's, as you say, mother's milk. You know how in your country, when you talk about the myths, the Norse mythology, it's the same thing here. And it gave it a very American flavor. Some people argue about that, but definitely, yeah, 16 tons is something. So, but I forgave them. I was fine with that because anything that they do in the credits, that's the credits. See, what was another? Oh gosh, the Beesbury funeral. Oh wait, before we get to the Beesbury funeral, my man's funeral, Baylor's funeral. I felt like there should have been more people there. It's like maybe that was budgets, to be honest, because in the graphic novel there were like tons of people. Everyone, they were all went and paid homage to him, like walking by the beer before it was set on fire. But it was like, yeah, and someone said those two King's guards in the back, like they had been put into a timeout. And I'm thinking, yeah, they suck. You're supposed to be protecting the king or the princes in the blood, and look what you did. You suck. But yeah. I thought now they had Valar's wife, and that was actually not a DEI checkbox. That is exactly how she was supposed to look. What's her name? Valar, or who was Valar's wife? Um, she's from Tyrosh, and yeah, she has that hair. In their culture, they they dye their hair purples and pinks and everything. So yeah, what is her name? I forgot off the top. Kira. Yeah, Kira of Tyrosh. So this is a
That,
thing
that,
where,
that one was accurate.
oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, if people don't know, I haven't seen anyone say it yet. Try to say, oh, look at that. That was a stupid DEI. No, it's like, no, it wasn't. that was completely book accurate. And you talk about getting some genetic diversity, because we know that King Darin the Good wanted that genetic diversity in the clans. However, both of their children were stillborn. So no extra heirs. That's why when he passes only a few months later of the sweating sickness, it goes to someone else. Just a second, just a second. That was just my mom checking in that we're still going to be leaving on time today. So some people say that the children being stillborn was the interference of Blood Raven, but I'm not sure that Blood Raven's responsible for everything, for crying out loud. But definitely it moves the line down closer to our boy, because since their children were stillborn, the Iron Throne goes to Ares next, which is the brother of Baelor. So, and then she marries Darren, our little drunk guy, and he dies of an STD. I think they do have a child that lives, but she's sickly and dies. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5 says they could have stripped back the opening jazz. It's called Bardcore, and I liked 16 Tongues. Okay, thank you for that. They definitely, well, because yeah, that is how they opened the show, and it was in it. They
Yeah,
kept it for a while. It's like, nope, nope,
it
nope,
it,
nope.
it should not have been in the show. End credits is fine. Put
Mm-hmm,
whatever. You can even put ACDC in there. Doesn't matter. But in the show, no.
mm-hmm. Nope, nope. And like I said, I mean, I've told many people that they know that my master's thesis is on American folk songs. That's why I feel really embarrassed that off the top of my head I couldn't say about 16 Tons, but it's not necessarily in the same category of the ones that I do, but it is appropriate, the themes. And I know what they were going for, because they felt like, oh, that kind of describes the coked out attitude, veneer, whatever you want to say of Lionel. But yeah, no, that's the one thing that they definitely got wrong. Yeah, 16 Tons. Yeah, it technically is not a folk song. It was, see, when was it? So it is considered traditional pop. That's what they're saying. Eight, it was released in 1947. Yeah. So I guess we could argue about, is it folk? Is it not? Technically not folk, but it's definitely part of the lifeblood of me. It's like the Davy Crockett song. So yes, I like 16 Tons. 16 Tons was kind of funny. And I mean, Makar, just give him all the credit. All right. So we have that funeral. The scene with Velar. Can I cry a little bit? It was so sad. It was exactly like it was in the book, where he basically said, "Why does, trade my father for a hedge knight?" And poor little Dunk is like, "I've been asking myself the same thing." They added, though, the detail, how many sons die in their father's armor, but my father died in his son's armor. And it was like, yeah, it was just so wrong. That was also when they explicitly said in the show that he was not wearing his armor. They still haven't told you in the show that that was why it was a fatal blow, was the armor, because it didn't fit properly, but everyone in the internet filled it in, though the detail in the show wasn't needed. Like when my sister and brother-in-law watched it with me, they were all like, well, hell yeah, if you get a mace to the back of the head, even if you're wearing armor, it would be a fatal one. But that is definitely what killed him. And it's sad. It's so sad. So I thought that was a very poignant scene. And it's the first time we get to see him really talk. And he was the one, his life completely changed, because he is now the heir to the Iron Throne, and he will become the Prince of Dragonstone, etc. Though I don't think he lived long enough to actually officially be installed. I don't know how that works in the A Song of Ice and Fire world. But yeah, now he's the heir and heir apparent. Hmm. So I thought that was poignant and well done and very sad. The other funeral that I thought was kind of epic was the Beesbury funeral. How cool was that? Maybe a little silly, but awesome that in his funeral they just had a bunch of bees swarming around him. They put the queen bee inside the coffin. It almost made me want to have a funeral like that, though of course I won't, but it's like, you know what? That's a good way to go. Just have the bees have at you. I thought that was fun. It was also weird. People point this out on the internet that Dunk is all mad at Darren for being there, but he doesn't go over and give hell to the Kingsguard. They were the ones that actually killed him, but he's mad at Darren. So, okay. But anytime Darren is on the screen, first of all the ladies squeal because we love him and we want to save him and hug him and tuck him up and in a blanket and tell him everything's going to be okay. But I thought that was a good scene. And again, that's not the thing that they got wrong. It's where he says, though, Arian was not always a monster. So what do you think of that? This idea that
Well, it foreshadowed. It's the same with Joffrey. There's a scene where Cersei says the same thing about Joffrey
hmm,
in the original show. So it's Targaryen madness, kind of whatever.
hmm. Or is the madness rooted in something else? Because
Well, we don't know, but it's odd that. Well, I'm thinking it's. I'm thinking it's more of just a family trait. You know.
in some ways, but I still think that there is evidence that all of the sons of Makar, maybe the daughters too, that they were haunted by these dreams and they responded in different ways. We know what it's done to Darren. Like Darren isn't just a random drunk and a horror. He is doing it to try to drown out his dreams. Arian, it's manifesting in madness that he really thinks he's a dragon. So his dreams are convincing him he's a dragon. There's a
Yeah.
very, very, yeah.
It's going to happen to Ares further down the road. But then, will it happen to Egg?
Well, and I think that it's very plausible that the reason why he does what he does is because of the dreams. I think that he might also. So it seems like it runs in the family. And then you have the Meister guy, whose name I keep fecking up because they all have the same name. He also perhaps has it as well, but maybe he is able to channel it better by being, well, an ascetic, being in his books, because of course they're celibate. First, he is in the Meister era thing, and then later he is going to be in the Night's Watch.
If you think about it, if Egg goes mad, maybe he castrates himself at Summerhall to try and raise dragons, because other Targaryens have done worse than that. One even drank dragon fire. So if insanity runs in the family, that might be why the stuff at Summerhall happened.
That is the blood sacrifice that he thought he would do.
Yeah.
Of course, my theory is that's what, his whole body was the sacrifice, but maybe he didn't plan on that. But that the madness is not necessarily genetic. I think that the genetic issues show up in so many birth defects that they have. So many stillborn babies that are just twisted and meh, and literally in the case of Rhaenyra's child, literally a dragon. And goodness knows what Daenerys had in her, like that baby would not have lived anyways because of the thing. So that is where the thing, but I think that the madness is coming from their dreams, and it's left over from the magic or whatever was going on in Valyria. So, um, now that doesn't mean the Aryan's not a monster, but I think that that's what drives them mad. Now in the show, they imply that it's just, oh, because they were raised like nobles. Like when Darren said that, it's like, oh, we'll make a man of him yet. But I think there's a little more to it. Definitely a little more to it. Yes, we love the bee magic. Yeah, poor Raymond is so stupid. But he's so earnest. We love him. We love him here at Miss Martin Muses. But that is the madness. Now, let's see what else. I want to put the two scenes with Dunk together. They split it up, I think, to try to give you a little bit of tension. But before we do so, when Egg decides he's going to do something about Aryan himself, because the whole time he's like, kill him. Like he hoped that Aryan would die in the tourney. He hoped that Dunk would kill him when Tanzel was being, attacked. He hoped Aryan would die in the trial of 7. So he decides he's going to do it himself. And 10 thumbs up to the kid actor on this scene. I mean, you saw for the first time a total different emotion in that kid. I mean, he is enraged. He's so furious and mad that he's got tears coming down his face. He's jaw and everything. I mean, and then he pulls out the knife. Now, some people say he wasn't going to kill him. He was going to make his brother his sister, which would be appropriate. So to torture him the same way that he had been, or he was just going to kill him. But I mean, it was just a little knife. I mean, would Egg have even known how to kill him? Would he have stopped? Who knows? But I thought that was a really awesome scene. And then 10 times more awesome, right at that moment, he realizes his dad's there. And they kind of look at each other.
How do you know it was going to kill him, though? Could have been there to castrate him.
No, that's what I just said.
Yeah, just do to him what he was threatened to do. Threatened done to him.
Yeah, that's what I meant by he was going to make him his sister, because that's what his Aryan would say to him. I'm going to make you my sister. Yeah. And then he sees his father, who Makar. I mean, 10 thumbs up to the actor. I mean, these actors, the guy who plays Makar, the guy who plays Baylor, those dudes have all done Shakespeare and everything. They're amazing. I want to go ahead and watch all their stuff now. But he just kind of looks at him like, I see you, and he understands. And the first sign of affection that we see from Makar, he goes over and just puts his hands on his shoulders, and he's so little, and you see his hands. So he is a father that loves his children. I think he just doesn't know what to do with them. A lot of people theorize that since his wife is dead, he's a single dad, with these crazy kids, and it's just so poignant. You really see that he truly loves his son. And even Egg, he likes that affection from his father. I mean, is that the first time he's had that kind of affection? Or this is the first time maybe his dad's had the time to give him affection? But he drops the knife, and then he kind of leans against him, and then it's interrupted, and you just see Makar going like, what? It's like, okay, here we go again. But he was very moved by it as well. I thought that was a great scene. I mean, I'm just biased. So, Steve, tell me how awesome that scene was, or your opinion.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. And it's different from the pattern of what we've seen so far from these nobles. This is truly a Targaryen family where they love each other. The affection that these brothers have for each other, and the affection for a father for their son. I just thought it was great. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Well, yeah, Snortopoopas Cooper. Snortopoopas Cooper is here. And Snortopoopas is a muser of House Rose. Thank you for being one of my first members, Snortopoopas Cooper, and everyone follow him on X. and he's a very great supporter. So thank you very, very much. Oh dear. So I loved it, loved it. And did I say I loved it? I adored it. So yeah, obviously that was not what I disliked the most, or that one thing we've already said, the one thing, that stupid music at the beginning. I think I've pretty much covered. Oh, and then of course the big moment, the lecture, if you will, the bearing of the souls, like Makar and Dunk being incredibly frank with each other, where Makar talks about, I was the one who killed him. I'm the one that did the blow that killed my brother, and from here on out, everyone is going to be whispering that I did it on purpose. And
Which mirrors a bit what happens to Jamie, because he
mm,
killed the Mad King, but for all the right reasons. And when they found out he was sitting over the corpse, so he sat down on the throne, and Kingslayer and Betrayer and blah blah blah. And like, well, Ned and Robert and stuff were there to kill the king as well. So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
we also think, well, no, you also think that Ares was a dreamer.
yes, I think so.
Hmm. And that's why he was mad. Because, well, I think it would drive me batshit crazy. I imagine it in our world. If you, like, imagine if you were a dreamer and you kept dreaming about 9/11, and you knew that no one would believe you if you said it, and then you see it come true, or many other horrific things. It would drive you crazy. So definitely. Oh, saying hello to you, Steeg, or as we say, it is Stag. Oh, I made the coolest thing for my mom. She doesn't know it yet, but I have a little iron throne. I've been crocheting all these things because people love it, and then I put a little egg. I crocheted an egg on the iron throne. I'm going to give it to her later today because she actually has a medieval castle doll thing in the living room area, where all sorts of coats of arms, all these things from Ireland that we have. So I'm gonna add it and surprise her. I should take a picture and show you all. It's pretty cool. And what it was an old dollhouse that I used to play with as a kid, and my granddaddy, he transformed it into a castle. So there we are. So let's see. And the fact that Makar offers Dunk to be his sword, he's like, "This is what my son wants. So I offer you a place in my household, like a hedge knight gets to be with the anvil, the brother of the future king. Well, or not anymore, but pretty soon. The royal household." He said, "Swear your sword. You'll swear your sword to me. You'll be able to work with Egg and be his squire." And then he says, "And I will even train you. I'll have the greatest master or the arms to train you." He said, "Sir Arlen trained you well." I thought of old Star Wars there, "but you have much to learn." That is like awesome, that offer. I mean, objectively speaking, who wouldn't accept that? And the fact that Makar offered it, even though obviously in sadness, even maybe reluctant, but he was doing it because that's what his son wanted. And so he figures, okay, if you're going to be here, then all right, I will have you trained and everything. Because if you're going to be the man that my son is going to aspire to. So 2 thumbs up for Makar. And I think at any other time that Dunk would have accepted it. I mean, he already offered himself to Baylor, and Baylor accepted him. So he would have ended up in Baylor's service, but things have obviously changed because Dunk rejects it. He's like, no. Now, in the episode, I thought, really? He's like, "I've had enough of princes," and was even including Egg in that. I'm like, okay, fine. It's a 30-minute episode. You don't have enough material, so you gotta stretch it out. Fine. But I still didn't like it. But instead, Dunk says the whole, No, he's gonna come with me. He's gonna be a hedge knight. He's going to sleep in ditches. He's gonna be in um, inns. He's gonna be out in the fields. He might nowadays, like me, be, like in the Soren Sword, maybe sleep in a hall now and then, but he's gonna know salt beef. He's gonna know what it means to be uh, among the common people. He's gonna be raised right. And he points out that Darren, Mom, I'm sorry, just a second. Okay. All right, sorry about that. My mom thought it was later than it was. So in any case, I love my mother, don't get me wrong. Um, but in any case, he says, Darren, has he ever slept in a ditch? Though some people say probably with being the drunk that he is. And he said, and Arian, the psycho, he's had nothing but red meat his whole life, and look how he turned out. So he's wanting Egg to be grounded, and that will make him a better king. Well, he doesn't know he's going to be king unless he believes the fortune teller. But I thought that was great moment, and Makar doesn't really accept it. Like I said here, we never see him say the words in the book or in the show, okay, fine, I can do it. They added in the TV show Makar saying, he's my last son. So I like that puts it a little bit in perspective and makes him not come off maybe so much as a douche as so much as, what, you're going to want to take away my last son, and that maybe it'll be his last chance to do it right. Maybe, I don't know. I don't buy the whole he was a bad father. I think he was just doing the best that he could. And I love him. No. So, but that's one of the themes, is that in the little folk and in the small things is what makes you great. And eventually you will be great. And we know that eventually, of course, Egg's going to be called home. Of course, Egg is going to have to do his duty. And he does. He have 5 kids. He has a whole bunch of kids, um, and has a marriage and everything. So we know that that's eventually going to happen. But at this time, Dunk wants to give what he gives to Egg. So well done. So it ends with them going off into the sunset. Now, 2 thumbs up for what the Sir Arlen scene. Like, what it was almost, well, was it his ghost, or was it just for something for us to see? Whatever it was, as Dunk and Egg are going off into the sunset, you see Sir Arlen riding with him and then just riding away. So what do you think of that?
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's there's not too much more to say about it because they did it really well. It's
Yeah.
nothing to pick apart or anything.
Yeah. I took it as symbolic. Like, he wasn't literally there as a ghost. But I don't know. I guess you could take it both ways. Well, in a way, Sir Arlen was haunting him the whole time.
Yeah, and well, it's kind of, if he lets him go,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he's now he's his own knight now. He doesn't have the baggage necessarily of the past.
Yeah. And he is a knight.
Yeah,
I will.
and I'm thinking he probably knows it now.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
is why Sir Orlan is put aside in a way.
Yes. That's a good insight. 2 thumbs up on that. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Basically, letting go of the past and riding into the future.
Yeah. Well, and isn't that a good theme for everybody? Shouldn't we all do that? Because I think sometimes we do cling too much to the past and it keeps us from going forward.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Hmm. Either way. Yeah, there was an expression that a friar, a Franciscan friar, once said in a sermon that I was at. He said, "Looking back will bring you madness. Forward, oh sorry, looking back will bring you sadness. Looking forward will bring you madness." So you have to live in the moment. If you worry too much about the future. But overall, I can't give the series the entire episode or the entire season. That's what I'm going to ask you first, Stieg, what your opinion is. I cannot give it a 10 out of 10.
No, I'll give it an 8.
Mm.
Uh, we had that stupid flashback that was not needed, that took away from the battle, which could have been epic. Instead, it was mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that stupid Game of Thrones theme at the beginning of the show, which is a reminder that, yeah, this is in the same canon as the shit show. And it is a novella, short story. And it's not a 10 out of 10 to begin with, I think. It's more of an 8 or a 9. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, which is pretty damn solid, though. And I want more.
Okay. I disagree with you about the novella. I think the novella is a 10 out of 10. The Hedge Knight is. When I reread it, it moved me in a way, like it moved me the first time I read it, but this time around, maybe it was because, well, you know that it was during the time that my sister was going through another surgery for cancer. For some reason, the reread, I was doing it when, I was at the hospital and stuff and doing it on the stream. It moved me in a way that I guess I cannot say and maybe cannot say why, but I think that the Hedge Knight is 10 out of 10. I'm not sure about the two others. I'm going to see how I feel. I didn't.
I thought the second one was the weaker of the three,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean it's weak, right?
No,
It's
no.
just not as good as one. And I'd say 1, 3, 2 would be.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think when we reviewed the three of them initially, I think we both agreed on that one. Um, Now, I disagree with you slightly. I don't mind that they used the Game of Thrones theme because I feel like it was a reclaiming of it.
Well,
Now,
here's the thing: if that little Varys theory is true, where does Egg end up in that canon?
I do not know.
Oh, he gets burned by Daenerys over nothing, just for shock value.
Perhaps. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Now, I was able to isolate this series from everything else because, of course, House of the Dragon just completely shit the bed. I mean, and we're starting to see even more why George was like, oh, hell no, the things that they're doing in season 3. But that's how I felt. I felt like it was reclaiming Game of Thrones. I didn't mind the music. I did mind, though, the stupid shitting scene with that. Yeah. I didn't like that. I didn't like the big schlong in episode 2. That was like silly. Some of the fart jokes that they put in that they didn't need to, like that guy spitting all the time, like that just was not necessary at all. But yeah, so I disagree with you on the music part. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 is basically the flashback in episode 5. Breaking up, ruining, nearly ruining the Trial of Seven. Now, for me, the only reason why I have been able to enjoy the Trial of Seven is I have literally wiped it out. Like when I watched it with my folks, we didn't watch the flashback. We just watched the whole Trial of Seven straight through, and it was magnificent. But I cannot ignore the fact that it's in there. So you've just lost a whole point. You're at a 90 for that. Well, and I guess also the Jazz. Maybe the Jazz, I need to knock it down another half point, 8.5. I mean, that is how much it was just ridiculous. So yeah, maybe I have. Maybe I'll leave it at a 9. I'll leave it at a 9. I forgot one of the things that we've all been joking about the whole time is that this poor little princess, or not princess, rather the girl. It was like her birthday party. It was like the shittiest birthday party ever. She even talks about that. She goes like, "I forgive you for ruining my name day." And it's like, yeah. I mean, imagine you're just having your sweet 16 or something. The people, or a lot of people say like it's like the quinceanera and it gets ruined. But yeah. So we'll see what they do in season 2. I like the fact though that it made me happy. It gave me something to look forward to. It didn't majorly disappoint. And I don't know, this good television. The fact that it had all men. As a woman, I want to see that. We want to see masculinity. We want to see peak masculinity. And it was. It was. That's the reason why you also see all the thirsty memes where women went to F all the characters in it. I mean, obviously, except for the obvious where you cannot. But people are calling Baylor and Makar. They're dilfs. Of course, Dunk. Everyone wants him. Everyone wants to save Darren because deep down we know that it's the dreams that are making him the way he is. And of course, Raymond. Well, actually, haven't seen anyone say they actually want to F Raymond, but everyone thinks he's adorable. And Apple stuff. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does he say? He says, "Looking forward will bring you madness, fitting for the Targaryen. I think cosmic divinations will bring you mind-bending results, and most will broke if it don't warp. If they don't warp, the small green pool of Valerian." Mm-hmm.
I'm
Indeed.
thinking. I'm thinking when the Mad King keeps yelling, "Burn them all," he's talking about the White Walkers.
Mm. Yeah. Well, and it's a tale as old as time. It's universal. The whole Oedipus story, all the Greek myths, all those Greek plays about prophecies and how they f everything up, and the more you try to avoid them, the more they come true.
Yeah, and the more you try to make them come true, the less they come true.
Yes, which is why it's good to avoid prophecy.
Yeah, which is I think Martin is doing this deliberately in the books by having some prophecies,
Hmm.
and it shows you how the prophecies can fit with all kinds of people.
Hmm. Well, and also that it's just not a good idea. I don't know how many times people will ask me, "Oh, well, are you worried about the Antichrist? Are you worried about the end of the world?" And I say, "Not one bit." And if anyone in my religion starts to say, I know when Jesus is coming back. Look, I've done this. I've calculated this," and you just ignore them because even Jesus says, "Don't even try," because it's unhealthy. Look at the things that people have done, or people like those weirdos that wanted when the comet came, they all did a suicide self-deleting pact. They People have gone mad. People have like sold everything and ruined their lives over prophecy. It's just not good. It's unhealthy. Just live your life because it just doesn't do you any good. Um, but or people that sit around and look at horoscopes. Again, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying. So you're going to determine what you do based on something that you read from the stars. When it could, even if there is truth to it, what do you know? is it going to happen the way it does? So I think it's very clever. Very clever. Good themes, very universal themes. And just for fun, oh, I think I talked about this, the whole 7 thing, but there are the trials of 7, the 7 trials of Jesus too. The 7 parts to the trial. That just came up because it's Lent. But yeah, lots of really good things. Exactly. Says 2, 3, 4, 5. And I hope that is your name and I'm saying it right. Exactly. And the traits of those oracles may just come with the gift. Yeah, yeah. Or they may misinterpret them, or maybe didn't write them down wrong, or whatever. Yes, everything that you said. Wait, why isn't this showing up on my screen? Oh, fuck. Hell. If I'm missing anyone, let me know. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I need to wrap this up because, as my mother has kept reminding me, I do have to go. We've got things to do. And as I am getting ready to do my sign off, Stieg, any last thoughts? Anything that we did not touch on that you would like to bring up?
No, but this show just points out the damn obvious. Just stick to the damn source material.
Mm-hmm.
It should not, be that hard. But showrunners tend to go, "Oh yeah, this IP has a lot of fans. We'll just give them what they want for a while, and then we'll use it as a sandbox." Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, just stick to the damn source material. The hard work has already been done by the author.
Yes, indeed. I hope they'll take note, but knowing HBO, knowing Hollywood and all that, they will take the exact wrong message. So we shall see. I do feel good, though, that season 2 is practically done filming. So at least season 2 is relatively safe unless they order reshoots. We already know that Dunk is going to have the hair and all the ladies are going to go crazy. So, yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. Oof, good times. All right, and I think I've said everything that I want to say. But if you'll notice, I've been putting some links in the chat because I do have memberships now for 99 cents. Thank you for supporting the channel with all of these. And I want to say that I cannot offer more perks, but these are the perks that I will offer you, that you will get shout outs, the link, and please everyone subscribe. Please everyone go to their X accounts. We have Sean Sue, and I'm going to be sitting here. Because I have a whole bunch of new members that I want to be able to shout out, and I may not be able to because I'm trying to find the list. I think I have the list here, but definitely Sean Sue, Deeple 101. Thank you very much for being members. And no, that's a crochet pattern I have. Oh, yeah, I am making the coolest dolls. Oh, hail yes, I am, precious, of all of these characters. So I will be putting them all up. All right, I will do a better job of shouting out my new members that came yesterday. For some reason, see, YouTube creator support. And I know that it's not very exciting. Now, Steve, do you have anything coming up?
No, it's going to be a top 10 movie thing with Mara in March. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Alrighty, so everyone stay tuned with Mara Jade and everyone else. Like I said, have a great day. Have a great day. Oh, let me shout out everyone that has been in the chat. We had Snorta Poop Spur, Little Hammer, Iron Faith Phil, 2345, and others. Thank you for being here. We had a lot of people in the chat. My channel is empty, no streams, etc. Yeah, that's why I didn't share your channel, and I hope that's okay. I've been sharing your X though, but thank you. So everyone go on to his X, and thank you for being such a great support for everyone. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain to always stick to the source material if you are adapting something, and always read good material. Thank you very much.